Defensive streamers for week 3. I'll start off with the Cowboys, only 42% rostered. They're getting a Giants team that, 2-0. I mean, they look impressive, but still, this is Daniel Jones we're talking about. He's overdue at this point for an implosion. That line is still mediocre. The tackle play has been significantly better this year, but in the interior, they can still be burned. Micah Parsons. I mean, anytime you have a Micah Parsons-led defense, you know you're going to have the potential to score any given week. They've held both Tampa and Cincy. I think both much stronger offenses than the Giants. 220 points, 8 sacks, and 1 interception throughout the first couple weeks. Wouldn't be shocked to see multiple interceptions this week on the awful Daniel Jones. So one of the teams I would like. They also have the lowest implied total of the week, the Cowboys versus Giants. So something to target there. Also Philadelphia, 12 points fantasy outing this last week, thanks to 3 interceptions on Kirk Cousins. I mean, Darius Slay's a real deal, locking down Justin Jefferson all game, only allowed 7 total points, 3 picks, as we mentioned, 2 sacks. Solid overall performance from this Philly team that now gets Carson Wentz. And sure, this Commanders team putting up points. They are moving the ball well, but they've still given up the 11th most points to fantasy defenses while they're facing bad secondaries, bad teams overall. You know, it's kind of like the key off on your old QB, go crush this guy. They'll know all his tendencies. I think the Eagles smashed this week at only 33% rostered. Definitely a good defense to consider. The New York Giants, I know I said the Cowboys are a good defense. I actually don't hate the Giants on defense this week either. Again, that 2-0 start, they have allowed just 18 points per game, holding Baker Mayfield to 145 passing yards. Granted, Baker Mayfield sucks, and they've faced 2 pretty bad teams on offense so far. The Titans just like they have no pulse. But Dallas with Cooper Rush, I don't think they're that much better. They really struggled. They did move the ball on the ground okay, but they really struggled in pass protection. And I do think this Giants defensive unit has a bit more of a rush presence than they have in the recent seasons. Again, 39.5 over-under total. If you need a complete Hail Mary at only 7% rostered, that's a team to consider. And the last defensive streamer I'll give you is the Falcons. Surprisingly, a top 10 fantasy defense so far, even though they've given up a shitload of points, 31 to Atlanta in week 2 rather. But that's because they're opportunistic. They pick the ball well. They can score, as we saw against Matty Stafford last week. And I just think, ultimately, it's weird with defenses. Like, if they're too smothering and don't allow the team to really get going through the air, there's no shootout potential or anything of that nature, a lot of your fantasy points come from picks, and especially pick sixes. And so it's counterintuitive in a way, but oftentimes when the Falcons get allowing 58 points in their first 2 games, that often creates the atmosphere that will allow sacks, that will allow picks. So they're not safe. They're not all that sexy, but only 1% rostered and facing a abysmal Seattle team. I think they could absolutely. Geno Smith does protect the ball decently well, but sacks, whatever it might be, I think there can be some points to be had there. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.